Today, we are in Bahrain, the GCC's leading financial hub, where over 400 institutions are shaping the region's economic future. And here, in the heart of it all, we sit down with Mr. Yaser Alsharifi, Group Chief Executive of BBK, for an inspiring conversation. How are you? Thank you for the time. Today is your 246th day at BBK as Group CEO. How do you feel today?
Excited, energized, and welcoming. Thank you for joining us today, Sunita.
So tell me one thing which you are keenly working nowadays, which people don't know.
Oh, so many things. The things that people know about, obviously, are ongoing discussions with NBB, which is a strategically important discussion for the banking sector, for Bahrain as a whole, which we're quite excited about. It's the integration of HSBC that we're very delighted to have succeeded in acquiring, and we now have to integrate. But more fundamentally, that people might not know, is building on the success of BBK as an institution. I'm very proud to have come into a bank that today is a leader in the market and delivering services and products to our retail customers, to our corporate customers. We have a fantastic investment book. We have great ratios. So let's take a large corporate today in the market. Clearly, if you pick any of the names, our corporate team has done a fantastic job in being able to lend to them and meeting their needs. Our treasury team has probably had conversations with them in delivering some of the treasury needs, hedging and options, etc. Our retail team has probably spoken to and addressed the needs of many of their employees. The change is going to be, how do we do an account plan, which is common in global banks, to be able to address the needs of these customers in one go, so that when we decide to approach that client, we have assessed and analyzed what is required, and we take the key members of the team so that they see one BBK in delivering that.
Bahrain's economy is largely driven by the SMEs. So what are the plans which BBK is planning to do to make their business grow better?
I think a lot of confusion when it comes to banking discussions and the SME is focused around lending. And I think the SME sector requires a lot more than just lending.
Yeah.
It's the ability to onboard smoothly, it's the ability to transact, it's the ability to meet their cash management and trade-related needs, but also in discussing with these clients what is missing from their ability to focus on what they can do well as a business and leave the things that are not core, like payroll-related services or ERP and accounting-related services.
So you mean to say that BBK will step into that also?
So BBK will work with partners to be able to create the ecosystem to support the delivery of these to the SMEs.
There was a big news of BBK acquiring HSBC retail, but was BBK ready for that move, and how was it, the whole transition?
One key segment that we aspired to have was the expat community. And as an institution, we kept an eye on the market, and when the opportunity of HSBC came up, we went for it full force. We had the full support and backing of our board of directors. I have full confidence in our management team and our discussions to be able to not only succeed in the bid, but also to integrate it.
Yeah.
And for us, it's not about just acquiring the portfolio and integrating into what is today BBK. It's how we will grow with these customers in addressing their needs today and in the future, whether it's here or elsewhere.
Starting at ENY and being held various strategic and advisory positions in various organizations. Now you are CEO of BBK, and at the same time you have power, you have anybody to connect in Bahrain, you have power of all our money. So how it have changed your personal life?
At Ernst & Young, I was given the opportunity to learn the fundamentals, right? It's an institution that globally teaches people about discipline, about structure, about policies, about following steps to be able to ensure the quality and the delivery. What has remained consistent building on that foundation has always been my curiosity around people and connecting with the customers. So in audit, a lot of the focus is backwards, looking at what has happened and then working with clients to design what can go wrong and providing controls around that. And the advisory business that I got involved with in the latter part of my career, it was more about looking at where we are now and where we're going to head together. All of these bits come with obviously a significant responsibility, right? You have to maintain a level of professionalism, a level of trust, and a level of confidence that you will always do the right thing by the client. And that has been a key value that I've carried through my career. Because today, sitting as a CEO of a bank, at the end of the day, our customers should feel that they can sleep well at night because myself, my team, the institution has been built to safeguard not only their money and their investments, but also their data, their secrets, their interactions with the bank, because ultimately it's a very intimate relationship.
So what is BBK's initiative? As BBK invested on any such initiatives where our money, at the same time our data is safe with you?
Beyond just the monetary value, there's the intrinsic value of people's secrets. It's their interactions, it's how they decide things, it's how they determine what is important for them and the priorities. As a bank, we take this very seriously. So we built the systems in terms of IT capabilities, in terms of training and awareness, in terms of controls, to ensure that we're always at the forefront of this. So today, people are talking about AI, generative AI, right? So we need to be aware of how these systems not only can help, but how can they be used to abuse.
Right.
So we work closely with our customer service team, with our retail team, with our corporate team, with our colleagues in the industry to raise the awareness of our customer base to ensure that they understand what an institution will ask of them and what they should safeguard and not divulge to others.
Coming to the young customers, I'm just talking about the Gen Z only, not even to the Alpha. So how BBK is stepping up, because they want banking experience also as simple as ordering food from an app. So it should be customized, it is personalized. So what is BBK doing to get those young customers?
We were the first to introduce ATMs, credit cards, debit cards, the first bank to introduce online banking on the island. The reason we have the multi-channel approach is because we are a bank to meet the needs of the Bahrain society as a whole, both the local and expat, including the youth. And as you rightly said, the approach of the youth is different. I have my own kids and I can see the language they use, the way they look at things, their interaction with technology is seamless.
Have you tried to adapt something from there?
I try to learn every day. I sit and listen, and sometimes I have to go into ChatGPT to interpret some of the words they use today.
Exactly.
But it's great because what it does is it keeps the child alive in us, and
Sure.
I think that's really important to be able to feel connected to the next generation. The target for the youth has to start at an earlier age. Over time, as they progress, we look at their needs as students, especially when they get into university, and then beyond that, we look at to see how we continue the journey with them, leading the way towards the future.
Over next 3 to 5 years, what do you foresee in digital era and the threats what banking sector in Bahrain has to see?
Key things that are already in place: open banking rails, right? That is critical.
Yeah.
The ability to have sandbox and experimentation, the adoption of agile methodologies to be able to do things quickly and course adjust and tweak things to be able to address the needs, because we live in a dynamic world. The investments in cybersecurity, as you mentioned earlier, to protect and safeguard our customers as they move more towards this digital landscape. But compounding the impact of this is going to be obviously all the data, machine learning and AI adoption, right? And this, I think, is fantastic because what it does is it takes away a lot of the processes that nobody enjoys doing. They are prone to mistakes, manual documentation, lots of paperwork, things that can have errors in them or are prone to getting lost, can be replaced. The type of job that employees used to do, which in my view don't add any value to the employee, they're very mundane, they're very boring, will be eliminated. But what it does open up is opportunities to be able to be closer to the customer and designing the things in a tailored fashion. When a person goes around the market, they're not going around looking for a mortgage, they're looking for a place to live.
True.
So how do we deliver that dream to the customer? It's by working with players in the ecosystem, the developers, the interior designers, the furniture, the brokers. We provide the financing part, but we can also work with the technology companies and the platforms through a digitally integrated system to be able to deliver that dream to the customer. And a similar concept can extend to other areas of people's needs and lives. So, like today, you recruit people with minimum skills of language, of mathematics, of analytics, of AML and anti-money laundering and compliance-related issues. I'd say there's a certain level of data awareness and data literacy that is required for the employee of the future to be able to be embedded in a system that is all designed around that.
So you told about lending to the real estate and developers. So it's all about the eco-friendly, sustainable projects which we are talking about across the globe. So Bahrain as a country also have their own initiatives and marketing plans as well. So how does BBK align with those sustainable projects?
As an institution, we believe that ESG principles are part and parcel of our strategy. And the reason being that if you follow these principles and are able to support a successful execution, they create value in the medium and long term. And as a responsible social citizen, we believe that it is incumbent on us to be able to work closely in delivering that. Now, some we do directly through our own products and services, and we've already started to look at our risk policies, our credit policies to be able to support customers. We look at lending to green products, to industrial players that are adopting these principles and are growing. We look at that in terms of our social responsibility and our charitable contributions and volunteer hours and how we develop our own employee base. As Bahrain, we're proud that we are a society that value both our male and female participants.
Yeah, very important on that.
And we believe in women empowerment. We are proud as a financial institution to have at least 3 very successful female members of our board of directors. We have a good percentage of executives in our management team.
That I could see all your workforce are also more women across.
And over 40% of our workforce is female today. And we're working very closely. We have a internal committee that looks at women empowerment.
Coming back to your early stages once again, what made Yaser grow up in Bahrain community, and what prepared yourself to take up all this?
As I was growing up, if I wanted to do something wrong, I was going to do it, right? Regardless of what my mother or my father said. But it was the values and the principles that they embedded in me that made me make the right decisions. And it's the same thing with our children today. It's that level of awareness and trust and confidence that you can build, and the ability to have that feedback. So my curiosity, my obsession for learning, my love of people, but at the core of it also my love of my country is what has driven me to try my best every day. And a lesson I learned from my mother that I always have to benchmark myself against my best self. It's not enough I was an A student, and even when I came home and I was top student, she would question why I didn't get full mark in a certain subject.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was very difficult, but today I'm very grateful to her for that, because it tells you that you can achieve more.
Are you that same father to your kids?
I think what makes this world beautiful is that we are all different. We have a lot of things that are in common and that are similar. But what makes it so exciting is that these differences, and what one approach does not necessarily mean that it fits each child.
Yeah.
What is important is that the set of values and principles, which I keep going back to, which are embedded in our religion and all the key religions globally, and any set of philosophies that you follow are the ones that are important. Trust, respect, kindness, honesty. I think these are ones that are non-negotiable. What each child can do for themselves is up to them, up to their potential, up to the opportunities. What you can teach them is a mindset, to be driven, to be growth oriented, to be learners.
Since you love people, I'd like to know whether there was any incident from employee side or from the customer side which shows a human side of banking.
I've been very fortunate to have had customers call me and tell me about things that have not worked out. And for me, that is critical to have that feedback. And that shows the customer also cares about the institution. In terms of the employees, what excites me is how I see our teams coming together. So we had a 2-day offsite about 10 days ago, and how we did an exercise cross-fertilizing the teams, multidisciplinary teams, playing a game together.
Wow.
But how everyone came together, everyone was running around, the energy levels. But what was very inspiring was to see how they worked as a team. Although in real life, probably at the bank, they had very little interaction, and that shows that everyone's committed to the bank, everyone's committed to the dream of this institution and the purpose, and that we hope to deliver value together as one team.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.